Good morning and welcome to the Business on News Desk. My name is Odilia Ntiamwa. Let's settle down for some details now. Savings and loans companies in distress would be allowed to go down, according to the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison. Some of the companies are set to be in a sorry financial state owing to panic withdrawals. The governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Addison, said the move is part of measures to clean up the entire financial system. Well, so I'm currently here with Norvan Akwa-Hayford, Deputy News Editor, Joy Business, to be delving into issues relating to liquidity support, as the governor has indicated that these savings and loans companies will not get the support. Well, so welcome, Norvan.
Thank you, Odilia.
So exactly what does the law say about liquidity support? Do these savings and loans companies qualify to get these support?
Yeah, when you read the amended Bank of Ghana Act, it's very clear as to who is qualified and who is not qualified. But what is interesting, and if you read Section 46, it talks about the fact that these savings and loans and other financial institutions are all qualified, excuse me, to access or request from the Bank of Ghana this liquidity support that we talk about. And let me just read what exactly the law says. When you read the law, it says that the principal enactment is amended by whatever it is, but 46A, the bank may, for the purpose of Section 3(2)(c), provide liquidity assistance to a bank or a savings and loans company or a financial house, which the bank has determined to be illiquid but solvent.
So it's likely that these banks are not liquid and may not be solvent.
Yes. So
but they say they are.
Well, that will be for the Bank of Ghana to determine. Before they would grant you that support, they will have to do an assessment. And don't forget that the same law provides what you should do prior to they granting you the liquidity support. So if you are insolvent, in their view, you don't qualify for it, because the law is very clear that you ought to be solvent. Now, when you go on and you read that too, it says the bank shall, for the purposes of providing emergency liquidity assistance under this section, prescribe the terms and conditions for the grant of emergency liquidity assistance. Now, the terms and conditions include: 1, the requirement for the bank or savings and loans company or financial house receiving the emergency liquidity assistance to provide the bank with adequate collateral for the assistance granted. So 1, you need to provide collateral. 2, the tenor of the emergency liquidity assistance. 3, the interest rate chargeable on the emergency liquidity assistance. So it tells you that it's not free money that the Bank of Ghana probably will be giving to either the commercial bank, the savings and loans, or the finance house. You ought to agree on what will be the interest you will pay on it.
So the savings and loans companies are asking that, look, some of these banks that have gone down, our monies are sitting with them. Is it possible for you to give us some liquidity support so that when these monies are paid by Consolidated Bank, for example, then we will be able to pay you back? Shouldn't the Bank of Ghana be doing this?
Well, on the face of it, they should be able to do that. But, as I said, they will do an assessment of your situation. I mean, which means that they will look at your business as a whole and check, even if we give you this amount, how much do you have with Consolidated Bank? Would you be able to pay us back, looking at the tenor that we have agreed? And if you want to use your money with Consolidated Bank as a collateral, how much is there anyway? And are you in position to pay the interest? These are the things that the central bank will be looking at. I mean, it's not the first time we're hearing the savings and loans people call for that support. I mean, when this whole banking crisis began, they came together as a group and then they requested for those assistance from the central bank. We know that they've been in discussions for some time now. But if the central bank, in their view, thinks that, look, savings and loans company A or B or C is not solvent, because the underlying word is
solvent.
Are you solvent?
That's right.
If we look at your books and they think that you are not solvent, they won't risk it. they won't risk it. Because don't forget that already their minimum capital requirement also has been raised. I mean, some of them are trying to struggle to raise these monies. And so the Bank of Ghana will be a bit, skeptical, careful in dealing with these companies as should be. How much at all do you have with the Consolidated Bank? That's not to say that I'm downplaying whatever amounts of money they have with the Consolidated Bank. In fact, Consolidated Bank will have to try its best to ensure that they release these funds to these companies so they can also
because they have stated that Consolidated Bank's inability to release the funds have led to some of them really going down. But when the Bank of Ghana finishes sanitizing the environment, usually you would hear that liquidity support goes to commercial banks. How is this going to affect the savings and loans companies when everything is sanitized? Will it make them stronger and better to be able to access some of the liquidity support?
I think that when all is said and done, we'll have a stronger financial industry. I mean, which I'm sure if a finance house is walking to the central bank to ask for liquidity support, they will be in position to repay or provide better collateral in their view, what should be collateral to, or the security in order to assess these funds. We need to allow what is going on to, get into its full stage or mature in its full stage. Then we can look at a robust financial system that can support the kind of economy that we have.
Well, it's unfortunate. Some jobs will be lost. Some services that are provided by service companies will also go down. But just like you've said, we've got to make the financial industry look really robust and attract further business that really will develop the economy. Thank you very much, Northern Akwa Hayford. Northern Akwa Hayford is the assisting news editor for Joy Business. Now let's do some other stories. And beverage manufacturers are being advised to take advantage of an accelerated depreciation program by the Ghana Revenue Authority to procure machines in order to have their products fixed with the tax stamp. This advice comes on the back of complaints by some manufacturers that the tax on clearing the tax stamp fixing equipment makes it more expensive to acquire. Special advisor to the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Akwesi Yanchere, tells Joy Business there is an incentive model to be given to manufacturing companies that comply by the end of the year.
So if you're a small-scale producer, you can buy some of them.
What are the tax components on these products whenever they are being exported?
You see, by law, machinery and other things, they already enjoy concessionary rates, right? But this is not even the tax, the cost, including should you pay the tax, the cost plus other things. At the end of the year, you can deduct 50% of whatever you spent, right, under the accelerated depreciation, so that the balance at the end of the following year, the tax that you are going to pay to government as part of your corporate or whatever it is, you deduct it before you pay the rest to government.
Would the GRA allow that?
Yes, to GRA said we are the agency collecting the money. And the law has been signed. It's there.
So it's more like an incentive for the...
The incentive is also to reduce the cost, to make people buy in. I think government does not want to increase the cost of this business, but this is a compliance measure to address various issues with excisable goods. Excisable goods are different simply because of the imposition of excise duty. The total duty is high, but if you remember, the excisable, not everything is excisable. There are some particular types of goods which are excisable. And because of the peculiar nature, that is why we make sure that the taxes are paid.
Thank you very much, sir. Very grateful.
And that's how we end business for this morning. Let's meet again at 12:30 when we will delve deeper into the issues relating to business and, of course, prepare our way for marketplace at 1 p.m. My name is Odilia Ntiamwa.